Have you noticed the community is watching the screen, but nobody's watching? Mysterious message in the frequencies that should have you terrified in the name of Silent Hill. Whatever heart the town had is stopped. Chilling, right? We are promised a masterpiece by analog horror kings, artistic geniuses, if you say. But between the blackout, the publisher's freefall, the community is asking a lethal question. Is Silent Hill Townfall the experimental rebirth that the franchise needs? The franchise needs to thrive, to be successful, or is it another mistake? I want to talk about and discuss the possibilities in which route they could go for Silent Hill. For a person who, yes, played, if not all, a good chunk, 70% of the games, and beaten the games, and been a long time fan, lover, believer in the series to this day. I want to talk about some of the skepticism behind this as well. So welcome to a discussion on Silent Hill Townfall, the greatness and some things that they're doing correct and some things that they're doing bad, and just my overall theory of what possibly we could expect with this experimental game. Now guys, hi, I am Silentpinkgamer and welcome back to my channel. The more you guys are with me, you'll realize that I am a huge Silent Hill fan, and I really wanted to talk more about Townfall for many different reasons. So let's talk about the things that they're doing right. Some of the things that they're doing right is Konami is pairing with, I'm gonna get it so I don't chop it up, guys. I don't want to chop up the name. It's Annapurna. Hopefully I said that right. Interactive. It's a gaming company that made the game Stray. You know, with the cute little cat? Yes. And they're working with Konami. Annapurna, if I pronounce it and chopped it up, I apologize. Reached out to Screenburn. Screenburn is a company that was founded in, let me get the actual date, guys. They were founded in August 19, 2015, so this is a fairly new company, Screenburn. Some of their popular games were created, like Stories Untold and Observation. Now these are two games that I didn't even know exist, and I have never played them. This Screenburn, it resides in Scotland, Glasgow, Scotland. And Annapurna reached out to Screenburn and asked them what they would do if they had the opportunity to make a Silent Hill game. So that's the reason why it's experimental, because it's not necessarily Konami behind the development. It's a brand new team. Some positive things that they done right with this experimental team is the fact that this team is really taking it seriously. I watched the transmission and I watched how they're breaking down the game. One of the members on the development team took hours and hours to play the game. She sat there, she said over 100 hours she played Silent Hill games specifically to get the vibe and understanding of the game. And that's a win. Because like we've seen even in the movies, that yes, it's great to be a fan of the franchise, but if you don't understand what you're creating, it's not going to hit. It's not going to make sense, right? We've seen that in the latest Silent Hill movie. Once again, by Chris Gaines. And he misunderstood what Silent Hill 2 is completely. And tried to say that us, as the fans, we don't know what we're talking about. Though we're the ones that played hours and hours trying to solve, undiscover, figure out everything about Silent Hill 2. Nevertheless, the positive. They spent hours. They went to go explore the town that Townfall takes place in Scotland. So they didn't just pick this place at random. First of all, Screenbird resides in Scotland, so they wanted to take it back to their home roots and take it back into what they know and what they feel. And one of the members on the team basically said a foggy day walking is like their average day going to school when they were little kids. I thought that was really cool. That's why I feel like Silent Hill is a perfect title for many companies if it's done right, because everyone has their own Silent Hill that can creep you out, that make you uncomfortable, very uncanny, dark. And with that logic, just because it doesn't take place in Silent Hill per se, doesn't mean it can't be Silent Hill. Silent Hill is hell. You're being punished. You're being drawn to this place by something you did or guilty of association, unfortunately, sometimes. So this is positive that they're taking it serious, taking creepy fear, especially when the fog rolls in. One of the development team basically saying that he used to chase the fog as it rolls in because it's a certain time when it's high tide or high fog day, and he would just go chase the fog. And how wondrous that is, to go chase a whole heap of fog not knowing where you're going. They took some crazy, eerie pictures, and I'm going to try to find that for you guys so you guys can see how cool that it is. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I was blown back by the seriousness that this team took to do it justice. A lot of them were super excited about the franchise. A lot of them have actually played the game. They knew about the game. And they were actually very excited to have this opportunity to actually be able to create this game. So, let me show you the cool pictures they took that inspired them. So let me and you can always watch the transmission. The transmission is available on the Townfall website, or you can watch it on YouTube. So look at the fog already. Look at the way this town, look at that imagery. Look at this. Look at that picture that they took. Look at the buildings. Look. Very clearly are taking their time and being serious, going to explore these areas that this game is based off and putting them in that reality to give us something remarkable. They're taking the functions of the games that we all know, love, and they're making a twist on it. Not to change it too much, but enough to give it, to make it feel refreshed, to make it feel alive. You can still recognize it, though it's not our average Silent Hill game, and I loved it. some cons that people worry about. That, believe it or not, guys, it has been a lot more positive than negative. But a lot of concerns about this when it comes to screen burn is the two games. Watching some of the concerns and actually clipping some of the concerns. One of the biggest one that kind of hit me and made me concerned. And like I said, I have not played this game yet, or any of their games that Screen Burn has actually played. Like I said, I did know they existed. That also got me kind of worried. And I get it. You know, every game is not a sign of their last one, or it's not a representation of their last one. But look at this. Because I did the exact same thing. Once I found out who Screen Burn was, I looked them up and tried to figure out exactly who they were and what they created so far. They only have, outside of Silent Hill Townfall, they only have 3 other games. So they're very fresh. This post, recent, played about 5 to 6 hours of this game. So, good chunk of it. Saw the developers was working on the new Silent Hill and wanted to check out some of their previous work. Big mistake. This game is tagged as horror, but there wasn't a singleton scary moment in the game. Thought I was buying a horror game and it ended up being an intuitive puzzle game. A lot of the other comments that other people have made has been that they're boring, they're uninteresting. The first puzzle, pretty good, they have some interesting moments, then it's shut down and it's boring. Now, there have been more positive, of course, but there have been mixed. It had me a little worried too, because the whole purpose of a video game is needs to be fun. But when you overdo the puzzles, to make the puzzles uninteresting, it becomes too repetitive, then no one's interested in it. If you're going to tag anything as a horror game, horror is a specific, I'm going to get the actual definition, guys. Not because I don't think y'all smart, it's just to kind of give you some feedback. It's an intense feeling of fear, shock, or disgust. That's why gore is in there. There's vowel horror. There is intensity, like you have to be terrified. Like I feel like Resident Evil does it well when not only do they have a lot of dismay and they have a lot of intense feelings of fear and dread, like what Silent Hill 2 had, Silent Hill 3, Silent Hill 4, The Room. They had a lot of fear and uncertainty around it. It's important, if it's a horror game, it brings some type of fear. Thriller, there is thriller horror as well. A good example of thriller as a horror game, as they call it, is Poppy Playtime. Poppy Playtime is not a horror game, it's a thriller. It has moments where there's jump, but there's no anticipating fear. There's a lot of puzzles in the mix of it that the fear draws off and there's no fear at all. There's places where there could be chase and could bring up dread or even disgust or even shock. It's missed. Obviously, guys, I haven't played chapter 5, but soon. Nevertheless, sometimes as gamers and sometimes as creative new wanderers, as I call them, we can only base it off what you have done. And though yes, seemingly some are seemingly positive, we have to wonder, why give Annapurna gave the opportunity to this very small company as an experimental project, when we've had experimental projects and it's never ended properly. It's never done well. Downpour. Can I say more? This movie, recent movie, Shattered Memories. Ugh. What's going on? People are losing fear that this is just a filler game until the real stuff come out. Silent Hill F was a success. What will happen to Silent Hill Townfall? So that's some of the positive about Screenburn and some negatives, some cons. Some of the community's biggest concern is that it's going to be too much of a copycat of Silent Hill 2. A lot of it feels that it's another man chases girl or girl chases man. Neither rest. It's going to be a love story. Though, just because there's a man and female doesn't mean it's going to be that type of scenario. Some people fear that it's going to be another PT or Downpour situation where there's a water town and it's really foggy and it's going to be open world, and then, or it's going to be too linear to where it's uninteresting and boring. Like I've mentioned before, they mentioned that Townfall was supposed to be like an anthology series where each episode could stay alone. Now, I don't know if this is true, especially with them being into Screenburn. And Screenburn is the one that came up with this game completely from idea, and they presented it to Konami. Konami said, let's go. So it could change. It's probably not an anthology series anymore. Either way, is it going to be better or for worse? I would never say based off a character's skin tone would ever be. And I will address this because there's no reason to have this in a gaming world. Because this is part of another reason of a con of people not only saying, but how they feel of what Townfall of what they believe the reason why they put a black character into Townfall. Can I say any more? The negativity that was behind this is quite disgusting. If you guys know the story, just put hearts in the comments for him. And you would think as a positive, oh, you know, popular man, but it's meant in a negative jab. They're basically saying that Silent Hill Townfall is a power to the people, bring races together type of video game. And we already know the type of people who brings this narrative into the light. So just stop. Just because a character is black doesn't mean the game is going to be more or less. It depends on that development team. It depends on the story and how they portray Saint Amelia as a Silent Hill game. And being brown, white, yellow, orange, or green is going to dictate that. Let's be frank. So some theories, guys. So that's a little bit of pros and cons that I thought were interesting, that I wanted to bring to light and talk about and discuss. But I also want to talk about what I think Townfall is going to be. To be frank, guys, when I first watched Townfall, and I watched the trailer a couple times, there's not much to go on but the trailer and the transmission and the information that we got from Okamoto, Aspura, and Screenburn. Since they're going completely different, the female character can easily, not necessarily, because if you remember, she said, Simon, come back to me. you can't stay in this room forever. And do you remember the creature that had the little needle that's coming out? I feel like that creature could be potentially of what we become. Maybe she was some type of therapist. Doesn't have to be a love story. She could be a therapist. She could be, maybe he lost someone, his family even, or maybe a sister, a relative, a friend. And the repercussion of what happened is the reason why he has an IV stuck in his arm. Guilt. And maybe she's telling him to come back to reality, to repent, or to face what you've done. The town itself looks beautiful. There's not much combat. Obviously with the creatures, they're very close to ones that we've seen, but hopefully they switch them up a lot. Some say that this is just a satellite town of what Silent Hill is going to be. There's a chance that it could be more open world. I don't feel like it would be. I think they're going to stay in Scotland. I definitely do believe Simon did something. That's why he's recalling, and every time he comes back, something's changed, something's different, recurring memory. Memory is going to play a lot of ties in it. Radio frequency is really going to play the ties and information. I truly believe that Simon is probably going to be, possibly, if they want to switch the narrative to something different, other than, yes, James is not a good person, particularly Heather more so or less guilty association. What if they make him more of a reaper? Make him more of, actually make him more of an antagonist, but we play as him. Switching up the game a little bit, being direct and showing us who his face is, but we still don't know why. It's definitely an interesting thought, you know? I hope with these experimental choices that we get a solid products. Hope the game is fun, filled with not predictable puzzles, not predictable unfinished puzzles. The first half of the game is fun and then it dies off. Do Silent Hill justice. There's a reason why it made a mark on the world. And please tell me in the comment if you're ready for Silent Hill Townfall. Nevertheless, guys, I hope you enjoyed this conversation with me discussing Silent Hill Townfall a little bit more. Obviously, yes, there's still not much more that we can do right now. But hey, when there's hope, there's belief, right? That being said, hi guys. I'm Silentpinkgamer once again for the newcomers, and I can't wait till you join the family. And yes, when Townfall is going to come out, I will be playing it. Robbie decided to plunge it. Nevertheless, guys, see you soon. Bye.
What I've done, I just remember the memories that I had with you. What did I